Welcome to the lesson on conservation of plants and animals. End of this lesson, we will be able to identify the causes and consequences of deforestation, understand the need and steps taken for conservation of forest and wildlife, understand the purpose of making wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, and biosphere reserve, define flora and fauna, define endemic species and animals, define endangered animals, understand the need for recycling of paper and reforestation.
A year back, when we had crossed this road, we had seen lush green forest, but the trees are cut now.
Yes, Lily. Trees in the forest are cut for many purposes, like procuring land for cultivation, building houses and factories, making furniture, or using wood as fuel. Some natural causes of deforestation are forest fires and severe droughts.
A lot of dust is coming inside the car, and I am also feeling hot. Can you switch on the air conditioning?
Yes, why not? Do you know that increase in temperature and pollution level is caused due to deforestation?
Yes, I know. Deforestation increases the level of carbon dioxide in the air. During photosynthesis, plants use carbon dioxide. Fewer trees would mean that less carbon dioxide will be used up, and thus its quantity will increase in the atmosphere. This will lead to global warming, as carbon dioxide traps the heat rays reflected by the earth.
The increase in temperature on the earth disturbs the water cycle and reduces rainfall, resulting in droughts.
Groundwater level also gets lowered.
To reach Panchmari Sanctuary.
I think Panchmari Sanctuary is a part of Panchmari Biosphere Reserve.
Wildlife Sanctuary, National Park, and Biosphere Reserve are names given to the protected areas meant for conservation and preservation of forest and wild animals. Plantation, cultivation, grazing, felling trees, hunting, and poaching are prohibited here. The plants and animals found in a particular area are termed as flora and fauna of that area. Do you know what are endemic species and animals?
Yes, I know, Mom. Endemic species are those species of plants and animals which are found exclusively in a particular area.
Sal and wild mango are two examples of the endemic flora of the Panchmari Biosphere Reserve. Indian giant squirrel and flying squirrel are endemic fauna of this area. Wildlife and sanctuaries provide protection and suitable living conditions to wild animals. Sanctuaries are places where killing or capturing of animals is strictly prohibited. Reserves like Satpura National Park are large and diverse. They protect whole sets of ecosystems. They preserve flora, fauna, landscape, and historic objects of an area. There are some animals whose numbers are diminishing to a level that they might face extinction. These are endangered animals. Examples of endangered animals are wolf, leopard, wild buffalo, and barasingha. An ecosystem is made of all the plants, animals, and microorganisms in an area along with non-living components such as climate, soil, river, deltas, etc.
Mom, how do we know that which all are endangered animals and plants and what are their present numbers?
Red Data Book is the source book which keeps a record of all the endangered animals and plants. There are different Red Data books for plants, animals, and other species. So many papers, Lily?
Sorry, Mom.
If each student saves at least one sheet of paper in a day, we can save many trees in a year. We should save and reuse used papers. The rear side of the used paper should be used for taking out printouts.
Mom, is there any other way we can help save energy and trees? What is the answer to deforestation?
The answer to deforestation is reforestation. Reforestation is restocking of the destroyed forests by planting new trees. We should plant at least as many trees as we cut.
This lesson, we are able to identify the causes and consequences of deforestation, understand the need and steps taken for conservation of forest and wildlife, understand the purpose of making wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, and biosphere reserve, define flora and fauna, define endemic species and animals, define endangered animals, understand the need for recycling of paper.
Hello class 8. So hope you will all enjoying in your home the online studies. So students, I have seen that you all were so not active that much for your classes. Please students, if you are seeing the videos, online classes, attending the online classes, please give your attendance. Okay. So students, in our previous class I have already given you the PPT presentation on the videos of the class of chapter number 7, conservation of plants and animal. And starting of the class you have seen one video, okay, animated video related to our chapter. Okay, most of the things were given in that video also. In the previous class also I have already discussed so many things of the chapter. In the previous video I have said you that we complete the remaining portion of the chapter, like remaining topics of the chapter, same chapter, conservation of plants and animal, like species, habitat, causes of loss of biodiversity, topic illegal hunting, pollution, exotic species, natural disasters, and this vulnerable species, critical endangered, extincted in wildlife. So many things were left from the same chapter. I told you in next video we will discuss this. Now in this video, in this class, we will discuss this remaining portion of the same chapter. Okay students, from the starting of the chapter I will give you a short animated video, because first you have to know which chapter we are going to learn. Okay, so through the video you are able to understand most of the things, because in that video so many things were explained nicely. So students, now I am going to explain the remaining portion of the chapter, of the same chapter, okay, one by one, and the internal questions also. We do the internal question in this video. Okay student, so students, enjoy the class, and now I am going to start. Okay, if you have any doubt related to the chapter you can ask me freely. Please students, if you are seeing the video, if you are attending the class, give your attendance, because all the attendance were noted down. It will count in your last results. Okay, attendance are also counted, you know this, every year. So class 8, if you all were present, you are taking your classes. Okay, so please give your attendance. Okay, most of the students were not giving their attendance. So many are there, very good that you people were regularly attending the classes, giving your attendance. Plus students, those who are present, please give your attendance. Only write good morning ma'am or present ma'am, nothing else. If you have doubt, ask the question. Okay students, now I am going to start the class. Okay, let's start. So students, chapter number 7, conservation of plants. I have already discussed you what you understand by biodiversity, the diverse variety of plants and animals found in a particular region, that is called as biodiversity. Okay, you have seen the picture Figure 7.1, biodiversity in desert, in land, in water, everywhere the organism present in both plants and animal present in a particular region, that is called biodiversity. Okay, now species. What is a species? Species refer to a group of organisms, plants and animals that have common characteristics and can interbreed among themselves. A common breed of any plant or animals, like dog is a breed, उसमें interbreed होता है, they have interbreeding among themselves and it is a breed, a group of organisms. So species is a dog, cat is a species, they comes to animals but they are species. Okay, so a group of organism, common characters, they have common characters and everything. Okay students, now ecosystem. I have already explained you what is ecosystem. An ecosystem is made up of both abiotic and biotic component. Abiotic means living organism, abiotic means non-living things and biotic means living thing. Abiotic में plants, forest, desert, mountain, lake, river, these all are an ecosystem. So like air, water, all together we are living with air, water, mountains and plants and animals, they together make an ecosystem. Now habitat. Habitat is a natural environment of a plant and animal species where it lives and respond to the stimuli are called habitat. मतलब एक particular area जहाँ plants और animals रहते हैं along with all the species and respond to the environment. Okay, वो respond करते हैं environment और एक जगह पे रहते हैं, उसको habitat बोलते हैं. Okay student, so these are the species, ecosystem and habitat you have to understand before starting the whole chapter. Now from the second page number 104, we are going to start the importance of biodiversity. Why the biodiversity is important? So every component of biodiversity from microorganism to huge animals like elephants play an important role in nature. Every organism play an important role in nature, like human beings are important. Likewise, animals are also biodiversity, our wildlife, our sanctuaries, everything are also important. Okay students, so these are helpful to us in many ways. We use forest for trees to make furniture and different type paper and different types of things. Animals gives us milk, okay, flesh, egg, different types of things we brought from animals. So from these things you can say animals are important to us. Okay, so there is one more topic is there, cause of loss of biodiversity. So we the human beings are responsible for the loss of biodiversity. So it doesn't means कि हम इन सब चीज़ों को यूज़ कर रहे हैं तो वो ख़त्म हो रहे हैं, नहीं, बट कुछ अननेसेसरी तरीके से भी ये सारी चीज़ें यूज़ हो रही हैं जिससे वो ख़त्म हो रहे हैं. So we have to manage these things. So what are the reasons of cause of loss of biodiversity? There are so many reasons are there. Deforestation, I have already explained you in the previous video, like clearing of forest, cutting down of trees is called deforestation. Okay, for so many things, to making building houses, building purposes. So students, this is called deforestation. Okay, there are consequences of deforestation also, desertification, global warming, pollution, increase in pollution, and so many things are there which I have already explained you. So in this video I am going to explain that portion which are left in the last class. Okay, now what are the another cause of loss of biodiversity is illegal hunting. Illegal hunting means illegal killing of animals for different uses, for to take out their skin, okay, for making different types of commercial products like leathers were used, animals leathers were used to making belts, shoes and different types of things. There are so many animals which were used for their skin like tiger, elephant, leopard, rhinoceros, whales, seals and many other animals were hunting illegally for making different use. So in India, forest and dodo, a unique bird in Mauritius, have becoming extinct due to excessive hunting. These type of animals were nowadays being extinct due to excessive hunting because these type of things were used by the animals for making so many things. Okay, now pollution is also a cause of biodiversity. if we cut down the trees, air should be polluted. Okay, lack of oxygen should be there. We throw polluted things in water, chemicals in water which are removed from the chemical industries, so the fishes were killed. So these are the things which we used for our benefit, which caused the loss of biodiversity and pollution. Okay, now natural disasters. Natural disasters like earthquakes, floods, drought, cyclones, tsunamis, and hurricanes have also contributed in the reduction of plants and animal species. जब ये बहुत सारी जो natural disaster है, natural calamities were come, so many wildlife and forest were get harmed. Okay, in year 2012, Kaziranga National Park, Assam, witnessed a severe flood which killed around 600 animals including elephants and rhinoceros. So flood is a natural disaster, it will come in Assam. Then in Kaziranga National Park, 600 animals, especially elephants and rhinoceros were killed. Okay, so in this way natural disasters also affect the wildlife and forest. Now exotic species. Animals and plants do not belong to a place originally and are introduced from elsewhere are called exotic. So simple, जो एक पर्टिकुलर रीजन से नहीं होते बट वो कहीं बाहर से आते हैं और वहाँ पे इंट्रोड्यूस होते हैं, वहाँ पे वो दिखाई देते हैं, दैट आर कॉल्ड एज एक्सोटिक स्पीसीज, जो कहीं बाहर से आए हैं और वहाँ पे इंट्रोड्यूस हो रहे हैं बट वो पर्टिकुलर एरिया के नहीं होते हैं. The introduction of exotic species has affected many native species of plants and animals, depriving from them to space, food, etc. Water, hyacinth and eucalyptus are the example of exotic species. So you can say that exotic species कैसे हैं, जो कहीं बाहर से आए हैं और पर्टिकुलर एरिया में रहने लगे और वहाँ पे इंट्रोड्यूस हुए. सो फ्रॉम दैट द अदर ऑर्गेनिजम्स, वेदर दे आर प्लांट्स और एनिमल्स, दे आर लिविंग इन पर्टिकुलर एरिया, दे गेट अफेक्टेड बिकॉज दे हैव टू सफर फॉर फूड, place है ना, proper place, because some other animals were coming there and living, so they have to suffer for this, the animal which are already, so these are called as exotic species. Examples you have given here, the water hyacinth and eucalyptus are the best example of exotic species. Okay, which grows best in water, and eucalyptus is also an example of exotic species. Okay students, hope you all understand the topic carefully. Now multiple choice question, take the correct option, page number 106. First we will do this. First one, the existence of a diverse variety of plants and animals living in a region is called biodiversity. Okay, it's called biodiversity. Relationship between a biotic community and an abiotic environment is called ecosystem. Correct answer is ecosystem. Third, loss of biodiversity is also because of increase in human population. Okay, increase is the correct option. Fourth, oil spill is a threat to organism living in seas. Correct option is seas. यूकेलिप्टस इज एन डैश स्पीसीज, एक्सोटिक स्पीसीज, बिकॉज वो कहीं बाहर से आके एक पर्टिकुलर एरिया में रहने लगा है, क्योंकि हमने अभी थोड़ी देर पहले हमने यही चीज़ पढ़ी है. सो फ्लोरा एंड फौना, वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस दिस टॉपिक बट आई एम गिविंग यू शॉर्ट ब्रीफ. ऑल द प्लांट्स, डिफरेंट काइंड्स ऑफ प्लांट्स, natural surroundings are called flora at a place of that place, and a particular place in which all living organisms are surviving, they are called as fauna. So flora means plants and fauna means animals. So an international union of conservation of nature and natural resources, IUCN, now it is called as World Conservation Union, WCU, is an international body. It is an international body. Now it is assess for global warming status of plants and animals. ये they used to make a red list data, जिसमें वो बनाते हैं कि कितने सारे एनिमल्स एंडेंजर्ड हैं, कौन बचे हुए हैं, कौन ख़त्म हो गए हैं, कौन ख़त्म होने वाले हैं. They make a that type of a list. So one by one we are going to start in details. So many topics we have already completed, like endangered species and endemic species in the previous part. Remaining topic we are going to learn or we are going to discuss in this chapter, like extinct species, critically endangered species, near threatened, data efficient, extinct in the wild, vulnerable, least concern and not evaluated. these topics we are going to complete in this video, because endangered species and endemic species we have already completed in the previous class. Okay students, now extinct species, what they are? The species of plants and animals which are not found now but once lived on the earth are called extinct species. Like dinosaurs, वो अर्थ क्रस्ट में अब नहीं है बट पहले थे, दे आर ऑलरेडी देयर, दे ऑलरेडी सर्वाइव देयर, बट नाउ दे आर नॉट देयर. ओके, यू कैन गिव द एग्जांपल्स ऑफ डायनासोर. डायनासोर्स इज द बेस्ट एग्जांपल. डोडो बर्ड also the examples of that extinct species. Okay, now extinct in the wild. Second topic is extinct in the wild. When a species no longer exists in its natural habitat and known by only to survive in capacity like zoo, it is said to be extinct in the wild. So some species are not present in their habitat, जैसे कि वो mainly जहाँ रहने चाहिए वहाँ नहीं है, but they are preserved in a zoo. They are called as extinct in a wild. Like pink-headed duck, cheetah have become extinct in the wild from our country. Cheetah अब तुमको जंगलों में नहीं दिखाई देगा, but they are preserved in a zoo. Okay, now third one topic is critically endangered species. Species that are extremely high risk of becoming extinct are listed in extremely endangered species. So what is critically endangered? Endangered मतलब क्या होता है? जो already खत्म होने वाले हैं, ठीक है, और they are क्रिटिकली एंडेंजर्ड में जो खत्म होने जा रहे, बिकमिंग एक्सटिंक्ट, वो ऐसे लिस्ट में डले हुए हैं कि अभी खत्म होने वाले हैं. दे आर कॉल्ड एज क्रिटिकली एंडेंजर्ड स्पीसीज. लाइक किविट एंड फॉरेस्ट आउलेट. द मलाबार लार्ज स्पॉटेड किविट, पिंजामी हॉग आर सम क्रिटिकली एंडेंजर्ड स्पीसीज लिविंग इन इंडिया. ये क्या हो रहा है? अब ये धीरे धीरे खत्म होने वाले हैं. ओके, endangered species that are high risk of getting extinct, जो अभी तक खत्म हो जाएंगे in future, we are not able to see that type of species, that are called as endangered species. Like Asian elephant and Indian rhinoceros are the best example. Now fifth one, vulnerable species. Species that are already exist in low numbers and may becomes endangered if the causative factors like habitat destruction, environmental distribution, illegal hunting continue to operate are called vulnerable species. For example, hippopotamus and polar bear are vulnerable species. So ऐसे species जो हैं बट बहुत कम है, लेकिन अगर उनका जो हैबिटेट है, हंटिंग है, ये सारी चीज़ें नहीं रोका जाए, जो एनवायरनमेंट में चेंज होता है, इन सब चीज़ों की वजह से जो ख़त्म हो रहे हैं, हैबिटेट डिस्ट्रक्शन, उनको यहाँ से वहाँ ले जाने में, एनवायरमेंटल डिस्टर्बेंस, एनवायरनमेंट पर डिस्टर्बेंस हो रहा है, लॉस ऑफ बायोडाइवर्सिटी, कुछ भी नेचुरल चीज़ें हो रही हैं, हंटिंग हो रहा है, कंटिन्यू हंटिंग हो रही है, ड्यू टू दिस मच रीजन्स, if these things were not stopped, if these things were not there, they will be maybe extinct from the earth. So these type of species are called as vulnerable species. Okay, red data we have already discussed. endangered species हमको पता है, vulnerable species भी हम लोग पढ़ चुके हैं, least concern. okay, जो ख़त्म हो सकते हैं, दे आर कॉल्ड एज लीस्ट कंसर्न स्पीसीज. सो दीज आर द स्पीसीज विच आर इन endangered, vulnerable, critically extinct and extinct from the earth crust. जो ख़त्म हो चुके हैं, जो ख़त्म हो गए हैं लेकिन जू में प्रोटेक्टेड हैं, जो ख़त्म हो रहे हैं धीरे धीरे, ओके, वो डेंजर्ड में है कि वो ख़त्म हो सकते हैं, और ऐसे भी हैं जो ख़त्म हो रहे हैं, बहुत कम है नंबर में, लेकिन अगर ये जो नेचुरल कैलामिटीज़ वगैरह आती हैं उनमें ख़त्म हो जाते हैं, अगर हंटिंग स्टॉप नहीं हुई या उनका हैबिटेट चेंज किया गया, सो दे विल ऑल्सो बी ओके, दे विल ऑल्सो extinct from the earth crust. Endemic species we have already discussed. Endemic species are those species of plants and animals, they are found exclusively in a particular geographical area. ऐसे species जो एक particular geographical area में ही मिलते हैं, अगर उनको तुम दूसरे एरिया में देखने जाओगे तो वो नहीं मिलेंगे. जैसे गंगा रिवर डॉल्फिन, exotic lion is only found in Gujarat. नीलगिरी तहार is endemic, नीलगिरी हिल्स में ही मिलेगा. सो दीज टाइप ऑफ स्पीसीज जो एक पर्टिकुलर एरिया में ही मिलते हैं, दे आर कॉल्ड एज एंडेमिक स्पीसीज. जैन पांडा साउथ वेस्ट चाइना में ही मिलेगा तुम लोग को. नाउ वी हैव डिस्कस्ड ऑल द थिंग्स. व्हाट आर द स्पीसीज, हाउ दे आर फाउंड, वेयर दे आर फाउंड, हाउ वी कंजर्व दैम. नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट हाउ वी कंजर्व द फॉरेस्ट एंड वाइल्ड लाइफ. एफॉरेस्टेशन. एफॉरेस्टेशन मीन्स प्लांटिंग मोर एंड मोर trees. ओके, प्रिवेंटिंग फॉरेस्ट फायर, वी शुड प्रिवेंट फॉरेस्ट फायर। जैसे अभी आप लोगों ने पढ़ा था कुछ दिन पहले ऑस्ट्रेलिया में कितना बड़ा आग लगा था, कितने दिनों तक वो आग जली थी। सो वी कैन यूज़ फायर एक्सटिंग्विशन सॉल्यूशन फॉर प्रिवेंटिंग फॉरेस्ट फायर। प्रिवेंटिंग ओवरग्रेजिंग बाय एनिमल्स, जब जाके वो ज़्यादा ही घास वास खा लेते हैं, डिस्ट्रॉय कर देते हैं लीव्स, सो दिस इज कॉल्ड एज ओवरग्रेजिंग। ओके स्टूडेंट्स, वी हैव ऑलरेडी completed this one is previous part. Now multiple choice question of page number 109. Let's start. An international body to study and assess the global conservation status of plants and animal species, they are called as WCU. Okay, second one, dodo bird an example of extinct species, है ना, dodo bird example of extinct species, they are not present in the earth, they have already extincted. Which of the following is not an endangered species? Polar bear not an endangered species. Which is not included in IUCN Red List data? Existing species are not listed. The extinct, endangered and vulnerable species are only listed in red data. Fifth one, the Asiatic lion is found in Gujarat. अभी 5 मिनट पहले मैंने इसको पढ़ाया था, 2 मिनट पहले, कि Asiatic lion is found in Gujarat. Okay, Giri National Forest. Now protected areas, we have already discussed about the protected areas. Okay, like national park, wildlife sanctuary, biosphere reserve, everything we have discussed. National parks, where we kept the animals in large protected areas, preserve the wildlife, they are called as national parks. Jim Corbett National Park, Kaziranga National Park, Giri National Park, Kanha National Parks, Sarisaka National Park, these are the national parks which is present in India, where in wide variety of animals, wildlife were kept. Okay, and wildlife sanctuaries we have discussed, were strictly reserved for protection of wildlife in their natural habitat, these are called as wildlife sanctuary. You have seen this figure 7.14 wildlife sanctuaries and national parks in India. How many wildlife sanctuaries and national parks were in India? Biosphere reserve, a multiple purpose protected area which has developed to conserve biodiversity and also to educate, train and create awareness about environmental species and eco-friendly living is called biosphere reserve. Biosphere reserve जहाँ पे protected area है उसको डेवलप करते हैं, वहाँ ट्रेन करते हैं पीपल, वेयर लोकली जो जंगलों में जो जंगली पीपल रहते हैं उनको एजुकेट करने के लिए, बायोडाइवर्सिटी की इंपॉर्टेंस बताने के लिए स्पेशली ये बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व बनाया जाता है. सो नीलगिरी बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व, नंदा देवी बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व, सुंदरबन बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व, गल्फ ऑफ मुन्नार बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व, दीज आर द एग्जाम्पल्स ऑफ बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व इन इंडिया. Panchmari Biosphere Reserve consists of 1 national park Satpura and 2 wildlife sanctuary बोरी एंड पंचमरी. मैं तुम लोग को पहले ही बता चुकी हूँ कि पंचमढ़ी बायोस्फीयर रिजर्व सबसे बड़ा है जहाँ पे एक नेशनल पार्क और 2 वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरी बनी हुई है. रेड बुक डाटा वी हैव क्लियर्ड इन द प्रीवियस बुक, जिसमें पूरा रिकॉर्ड रखते हैं, लिस्ट बनाते हैं जो ऑर्गेनिजम्स है, वेदर दे आर लिविंग और वेयर लिविंग, वेरिएबल स्पीसीज एंड एवरीथिंग. Migration, moving of animals from one place to another place due to this climatic condition, unfavorable environment and everything. Okay, Siberian is the best example of a migrant bird. जो कहाँ से आती है? Siberian crane gets extremely cold, वो राजस्थान आती है उड़ के. कहाँ से? Siberia cranes flies thousands of kilometers to come warmer place in India such as Bharatpur, Rajasthan. Okay. Siberian crane is the best example of a migrant bird. Hope you all understand the chapter carefully. Okay students, if you have doubt then ask me. Thank you and see you in the next class. Okay, take care of yourself.